Well done, boys.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
It's approaching the triple figures very, very rapidly. All right, you guys ready?
We can do 18 5-minute segments if you want.
Done. Easy. Welcome everybody to episode 82 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We're your hosts, Russell and Adam, and we are joined by our friends beyond the ditch, over the pond, down the road, the little mini island out the side. I don't know what to want to call it, but yeah, our friends from the CardCodex. Carl, Parris, how you going?
Howdy doody.
Yeah, good boys. Good to be on again.
It is.
Paste this in now.
For those that are in the live streams, this is back to back for us. It's very
Unlike our work ethic, isn't it?
We're hitting it. We're hitting it hard. We're on a back to back. I'm not resting. It's the
overtime?
playoffs. I'm not resting in the back to back. All right. There's no performance management.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard is out, so.
Oh. Should we quickly just go into playoff mode? And because I know we all want to get rid of this really quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in the playoffs anymore, but Dylan Brooks.
Man, we're going in early.
I just thought we can dedicate like 20 seconds to this guy. 40 seconds, actually, because he wants 40.
Well, I think he's the new poster child of, how to potentially ruin a career pretty quickly. I mean, it's fairly feasible that he's not going to get a decent-sized contract, and it's possible he might not end up anywhere. Although, of course, today there's already rumours and stuff coming out. Hey, maybe the Blazers should sign him. Christ.
They've got enough trouble, haven't they?
Well, I just don't know what problem he necessarily solves with us that we don't have already.
Is Dylan Brooks the actual example of like the exception to the rule when it says any publicity is good publicity?
There was a guy called Dennis Rodman in the league at one time. he,
No,
Yeah,
you can't
Dennis
discredit Dennis Rodman. Yeah, people love the bad boy Dennis Rodman.
The difference is, right, if you're giving a rating to Dylan Brooks on 2K, he's about in the 60s, right? At least Rodman was 99 on rebounding and defense. And I think that sort of lies his problem. And going back to his contract you were talking about before, he was in line for sort of around $15 million a year. And
he's not getting that.
what's he going to look at now? Like the veteran mid-level at best, I would say.
Well, he went from, he's coming off 10 or 12 million or whatever it is, into he's not coming back under any circumstance.
Yeah.
Is that is he essentially kind of poisoned himself for everyone? I mean,
Enjoy playing in
wants him
Houston.
to go to the Clips or the Nets or just or the Lakers would be hilarious.
No.
It would. It'd be hilarious.
It's not funny.
LeBron definitely wants him.
Oh, LeBron wants him.
It's really
Detroit's
interesting,
got
though.
the cap. So.
Detroit wouldn't pick him up. I don't think the Rockets will. It's going to be
Someone will pick him up. Miami would be the one.
You ready for this redemption arc? It'll be the Danny Ainge Utah Jazz nonsense, and he'll all of a sudden start putting up career numbers when the Utah Jazz are trying to lose again.
Yeah, well, he shoots enough shots. See, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that really. If you get to the nitty gritty of it, his defense is actually really good. He's a pest. He's really good as a one-on-one player against Steph Curry through the regular season. He was really good. It's just he jacks up 20 shots that are shit, and he goes 3 for 19. That's and then and his antics. So
it's the antics. It has to be.
I don't think the trade-off is there. Like if you're using the Rodman example, I mean, there's going to be crazy stuff going on, but he's going to die on that court and more than likely perform.
I was going to say Rodman had
dumb.
stats. Yeah,
and potentially embarrass the whole team.
Yeah,
So I don't know if the risk is really worth it, to be honest. And have you noticed when his hair's out, he looks like Cat Williams? Have you seen those photos? It's hilarious.
He's definitely a comedian.
I
That's
don't
for
know
sure.
what he's doing.
So, actually, a couple of weeks back on the show, we really quickly touched him, and I actually said I didn't mind some of his sold prices, and this is before he, really went off the deep end. That made me look terrible. But I'm just looking at his comps again.
buy, hold, sell,
Seven-
Dylan
Going back
Brooks.
to the well. I'm back to
18
the well.
iMac.
Let's go.
To 10, the horizontal RPA, 70 USD. I'm like, I still feel like I'm getting sucked into this guy though.
Oh boy.
Buy it. Put a
Oh,
bit
look.
on it, Russell.
Mate,
Don't pay
put
more
a
than
mark
40.
on the calendar. This is the day it all went downhill.
Oh look, I know this is a very like bad opinion, but I'm still looking at it. I'm like, oh, it's actually, these prices are like
I bought all those
tempting,
RPAs and stuff. Next minute, Shanghai Sharks.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though, like in collecting cards for NBA players, like those guys that have, even though he's a dickhead character, characters still have some value. So
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
you
true.
imagine if he sorts all his shit out, doesn't play that character, and actually like takes the right shots,
Yeah, he'll be
and
fine.
still plays good defense. Like people might, oh, okay, come on board. Like this got like Jimmy Butler. Like
Yeah.
we knew what he did in Minnesota. Way better player, obviously. Like way above. But characters, we need characters in the NBA, and I think there is a bit of collectability around that.
Yeah,
So.
and don't forget what he did in Chicago too. Like that was atrocious. The way that all went down. Like, and so
The Rachel Nichols interview, and
he just needed the right spot.
Jimmy.
All right, enough of that business. Joel
Yeah.
Embiid, MVP. Congratulations to him. Parris, let's turn this over to you, man. Where are you sitting with Embiid?
Well, I thought, to be honest, part of me thought he might have a pretty massive game to follow up, but it was pretty muted actually in the end of it. I think it was probably pretty close between him and Jokic, and I think the thing that probably did it is Jokic's just disinterest in the award in total. He's been super vocal about. I'm not saying that's exactly why they didn't give it to him, but on a knife edge between the two, stat wise, give it to the guy that will be stoked to get it versus the guy that'll just be whatever. I mean, from a PR point of view, at least. But yeah, I think. I mean,
So, do you think that factors in more than voting fatigue?
I don't know. I mean, the voting. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's always tough when a big man wins. It's hard to. It hasn't got the kind of hype and shine, as like the flashy guard sort of the win and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I like him because he's a real throwback. He's kind of slow. He's big. He's powerful. I enjoy watching him play. I kind of enjoy Jokic more because I think his passing game's just the funnest part about watching him play, and how he works the paint and how he can just pull a team apart and not even shoot the ball is amazing.
Yeah.
But on the hobby side, we were talking about, I guess, on the pricing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do. I don't think it's probably going to move the needle much at all, to be honest.
I think Embiid is set where he is. Like, I think he's got a following. I don't think this brings more bodies on board as far as collectors go. Maybe.
I think generally his fans are like, yeah, about time, and he deserved it. And all the other people that aren't diehards are like, yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
That's probably about it. It's not like, oh, need to hunt me out some RPAs and stuff.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think the MVP stuff will move much, but a championship would be the mover, because especially Jokic and Embiid too. If they go, one of those two go on to win a championship, I think that's where hobby movement could happen. Because
finals MVP, you mean?
Yeah, like if he goes through, dominates a finals, gets the finals MVP, I think the mood will shift a bit in that. So, and it's always hard around the big men. Like it's one of those sort of cliches, but it's true.
Yeah.
In the hobby. So,
well, I think you only actually see astronomical moves in pricing where there's some kind of edge to the player as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the person that's probably had the best example of a slow build just on skills probably been Curry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got no edge whatsoever, but he's a killer player. He's, seems like a really nice stand-up guy and stuff.
Yeah, very popular with kids. I think that's the other thing with him.
Yeah.
And, there's a bunch of good role models in the NBA, like Lillard, him, all these guys, but they're not at the front edge of collecting. It's always been the guys that are exceptionally skilled, but have some kind of thing.
Yep.
The X factor, it's
Giannis,
sort of
the Greek freak. Like he's,
Yeah. I mean, he's an exceptional player, but he's just such a nice guy.
Yep. It's the character.
Everyone's just like,
But what about a fun guy like Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, I know.
That's it. Like the ones that are legitimately nice people, make themselves available for the media, are in the spotlight in a positive light. You're right. They get a lot of positive press. They do the flashy things on the court, but they're also
kind of forgettable, outside the game.
But you look at Curry and Giannis, and the thing they've got in common with another legend, in my eyes, is that same killer smile that Magic had. Do you know what I mean? Like, when Curry gives you that cheeky grin, he's like, I'm about to go off.
Yeah.
Like, and he loves the game, the way he plays it.
Yeah.
And I think that
kind of
translates
like
to
the
the
Tim Duncan
kids.
effect.
Yeah.
That's what it's like amazing Hall of Fame career destined players, but just absolutely no marketing edge.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, and I think we've definitely talked about this on our thing before, in that it went from Magic and Bird, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. It was gonna be Luka, Zion, something or other, but the Zion train derailed so hard that I don't even know who the next sort of person is when Bron goes. Who's the face of the NBA? Because Steph's getting on as well. I mean, who's the next guy that's going to carry it for the next 5 to 10 years?
As much as this is going to make me feel sick I may actually
Dylan Brooks.
throw up.
I hear where you're going with it.
Tatum.
And I believe it too. Yeah, I mean, it could.
Tatum is big.
Yeah.
And he's performing on a high stage. That's the thing. He's getting to those.
How old's Giannis, though? I think he's very much...
28.
Yeah. You're right. Late 20s.
28.
Yeah. That's okay.
But
I still think it's
LeBron,
Luka.
though, is there? I mean,
I still think it's Luka. It's Luka Doncic. He just needs to get his teammates sorted out.
He needs to kick Kyrie out. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah. He's got the edge, though, as you guys talk about. He's got something extra. We've seen playoff moments already from him. He bitches all the time into the refs, which is a bit of a downside, but he's got that killer instinct. Like,
he does.
The little rivalry with Devin Booker that he has. He's like, no, I'm not taking that shit.
I think it's why it's tough, like with those, real established teams like the Lakers and Boston, because to become the megastar guy, you kind of have to be neutral in a way. Like when Jordan came up, Chicago wasn't shit, and everyone could kind of get on that bandwagon. It wasn't the Lakers, whatever, it wasn't Boston. So, I mean, there's a bunch of people that are just going to hate on Boston and LA and Golden State, California, full stop. So there's always going to be these pockets of people that, and at a fan level, where I just don't like the Lakers, I don't like whatever.
Haters are going to hate.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm kind of the same. I'm this one praying like God that Dylan Brooks goes there, and
we already had Patrick Beverley. All right, we had Westbrook and Beverley this season. Enough.
And you deserved it.
No, we did not deserve Beverley on top of it.
But you know what I mean? It kind of almost needs to be like the Giannis sort of Bucks out of nowhere, but everyone can appreciate greatness, and it really needs the league to get behind them as well.
Yeah.
And I think the league got really, really burnt with Zion. We shoved down everyone's throat forever and ever. Amen. And then
they've
what
marketed
happened?
Jar pretty hard, I think, too. That's probably the other guy, I think.
It's and Trae Young's sort of fallen out of the contention for the next sort of guy as well. So it is pretty much, I'd say they'd be hanging their hats on Luka and that 7'3" kid from next year.
It'd be Randall. It'd be Julius Randall. You watch. The Knicks were just out of nowhere.
I think that's a bit more down the track, though. I think in between that, there's going to be, Giannis, I think, will be there. I think Steph Curry will be there, immediately. And then...
I really think it's the LeBron-Steph era.
And then I think before Luka, you could probably argue that maybe Tatum will hold the best player title for a couple of years. So maybe that will be that sort of, it'll be almost like a staggered sort of transition to...
Well, I'm in that camp. I just find it hard to get excited about Boston, and I don't know, it just doesn't. Well, same with LA, all these things. Yeah. Even when, I cared when Damon was being the assistant.
What about Jar if he pulls his head in? Like, as in stops with the gun stuff.
Yeah, well, he's got that X factor about him.
That's what I mean. Like, he's got that.
He
just needs a good team around him.
And the way he plays,
and he does at the moment. Those Grizzlies were
It's like Iverson-esque. It's very high flying in the paint, challenging everything and trying to do everything amazing, but that can go wrong really, really fast as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey, just really quickly back to Embiid. I actually feel that him winning the MVP means for collecting him more than that. And you're speaking before about that slow burn with Curry. Why can't there be a slow burn going to the future with Embiid? And
because he's big and boring.
Yeah, but I think when you start to sort of like look at the all-time guys and guys that win MVP, like it's a relatively short list.
Yeah.
And this is something I want to run past you guys too. So at the moment, his PSA 10 is sitting at 1,100.
Yep.
And all-time
just the base.
The silver.
Silver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So all-time he's up 156%. The last 3 months he's up 44%. But if you look at the last 2 years, he's actually down 66%. So his all-time high it sold for 5.7.
Wow.
So it's got a bit to make back there to get to that level. But
the question I'm leading you guys to is, and we were talking about this last night, and Adam had an opinion about this. How do you take into consideration that all-time price when you're looking at today's pricing?
I think it could get back to that level eventually. I mean, the good thing about it is like his cards they're scarce compared to.
So pop of 81 for that.
Yeah, I mean, he come in like cards at that time, the early 2010s. Was 2014 as his rookie year?
Good job, mate. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, what's his second year Prism? So, yeah, I think he's definitely collectible. So it's just the injury thing and the consistency with Embiid to have a long career too is going to be the toughest thing for him.
And the other thing is people when you see the astronomical price rise, it's because people see it as an investment too. Like it's money well spent, not, and maybe they're banking on there's another 30% lift in there if back-to-back MVPs, wins a championship, whatever. Then the fans, if they zoom out and look at the charts, they go, well, it's cheaper than it was in the past, so he's my favourite player. It's probably worth it, good time to buy, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it, that you're talking about where it's same with crypto and any sort of stocks, and you get really myopic about the range you're looking in. And sometimes when you zoom out and look at a longer time range, you can actually see either you're actually up or, compared to where you started, or you're actually down or whatever. So I think it's relative. And I don't know, from an investment point of view, I don't really know anything outside of late 90s sets and serial numbered stuff that's kind of bulletproof, to be honest. I mean, I watch all those videos of the guy that tracks the biggest losses in sales.
Yeah, some bad.
Like Steph Curry, $1 million, then sold for 330,000. So I mean, that's from the height of COVID money.
Is he on Twitter? Is that who you're talking about?
He's in YouTube, but he goes, it's like he does biggest gains and biggest losses. But it's all serial number stuff, so you can match all the serials and stuff. So he's talking about the exact same card, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of them, even on those players that we're talking about, I mean, not just the popularity, but the amount of available money that people are willing to put into things like that is exceptionally tight at the moment. And I don't know what a sure bet, like I said, outside of late 90s serial numbered whatever.
Yeah,
that even comes close to being that, because key Steph rookie cards, they had LeBrons, all kinds of stuff. Those dizzying heights that we're talking about. We're not there anymore.
Yeah.
No.
So I think there's probably a little bit more bottom to be found in it. To be honest, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But more bottom to be found in that. I think you just have to be in for the long haul. That's really what it is.
It's coming back to collectors, I think. And if you're a collector, it's a good time to buy. Absolutely. It's been a great time to buy for ages. Yeah. If you're an investor, I would be very, very, very picky. Around what I was buying.
I did.
That's all right. I was going to say I've got comments from the chat, which is actually
we've got
relevant.
Comments already.
Yeah, we do. There's an accent on the S, so I'm just saying Stephen Sale. Or Sale, I don't know which it is. It's funny because he says someone needs to say Giannis correctly. So I think Russell says Giannis. What do you say?
Giannis.
Do you guys say Giannis? Giannis is correct.
Giannis.
Giannis is how it's pronounced, though, as far as
Don't
I...
ask me to do the surname. Forget about it.
Antetokounmpo.
Giannis. Yeah. It's
Anyway,
just Russell's Victorian
I
accent.
think Stephen was just taking the piss.
I thought there's a lot of Greek people down in Victoria, but yeah.
Gang up on Russell, come on. Let's go.
Although the follow-up comment about the market, MJ and LeBron are like Apple and Microsoft stocks. The hyped rookies are like crypto meme coins.
Pretty much.
Yeah, interesting. I like that.
I like the comparison.
Yeah.
And then Anthony Milne has said PSA guy. I think that's the one that compares. Is that right?
Might be, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't watch those, check them out because some of them are
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we share that on the social sites?
Devastating.
Because that'd be... It sounds like a good watch. So
it
let's
is.
stick,
You'd enjoy it, Russell.
let's stick with this theme about talking about the market coolness. So
Yeah.
let's go back up to the top. So what are some of the things that you've seen with the market cooling off? Like, what's some of your observations?
A lot of fire sales. Just a lot of people saying, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out. That's the big headline. It used to be the occasional sale going, regrettable sale because I need to move house. Regrettable sale, medical condition. Now it's like, hands up in the air, I'm out, come and get your cards. It seems like a lot of panic selling. And look, it's helping with the drop-off of prices, but I don't know. It's...
Yeah, we've definitely
know.
seen that over here too.
Yeah.
Probably not to the same extent as Aussie, but I've definitely seen, I've had enough of collecting now and selling all what I got, make offers, and yeah, it's definitely happening here too.
It's funny though, because a lot of the people that didn't fire sell their stuff in the 90s, that just put stuff away.
Chucked it in the attic, yeah.
Yeah, like when, all right, I know how to protect my cards, I'll put my collection away. We're coming out in COVID, going through their stuff and finding like Jordan rookie here and there, Kobe rookies, like scoring kings, random Jordan scoring kings.
That's actually a really good point, Ed.
Like, why do you need to sell out?
Yeah.
Just put your stuff away and stop buying.
But I think that wasn't the real collectors, was it?
Yeah.
It was guys that might have just... Yeah.
The sports card investors.
Or people that just wanted a bit of a
Yeah.
taste during COVID. Because remember
that's true.
remember what we were doing through COVID, lads. Like, the highlight of my nights most weeks was watching breaks, and we played a lot of online board games with friends. Like, it was, the options of entertainment were somewhat limited. So you can understand how guys, just came in and had a dabble, and maybe they're also the lads who would just, jumping straight back out too.
Yeah. But I don't know. We've seen this happen. Everyone compares it to the junk wax era. Sure, this might be junk wax 2.0, but there was a revival afterwards, and it went nuts. Like they reinvent ways to get in and out and around the hobby. So I don't know.
What do you see, Carl?
It's not the same as the initial junk wax era. I mean, there's still like, if you want to buy a box from like 91 Hoops, there's still thousands of the bloody things lying around that people haven't opened. It's not the same. And with Fanatics going to be taking over, and that's just going to, I think they'll drive a lot bit more innovation into the hobby as well. So there's definitely, it's definitely cooled off. I mean, we've gone over all this before. The flippers have fallen out, collectors are left, and some guys, and I still see more people coming into it just now. They've got, my cards I've got. So and Parris would be the best to know. That's a guy that he collected all the way through, never stopped. Whereas I jumped back in 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But there's still people like me just coming back in now. So yeah, it's not as bad as what some people say, I think.
Yeah.
I just enjoy the time now, because if the whole people jump aboard again, we're going to be moaning about, the prices of this are going up. So just enjoy it while it lasts. And everything goes up and down. Everything, oil, money, whatever, food, it all, house prices, it all goes up and down. Just buy at the right time. Don't feel like you're going to buy overpriced stuff. That's my golden rule. Don't overpay for it unless you really, really, really have to have it.
Exactly.
Sorry, Parris, I cut you off before, mate. What were you going to say?
I don't know. I still think the hobby's got a bit of a problem with perceived value and rarity, and where, one release comes out and there's 9 different one-of-ones of every player, and it used to be special when you get, something special. Now everything has to be special because they've kind of
Participation awards.
Yeah, they've engineered the market that every pack needs a hit, and that wasn't the case in the heyday, and if everyone's got a hit, then nothing's a hit.
Correct.
And I think that's what we're kind of seeing, where there's, there was 40 parallels or whatever within Prism, and that's purely just because when you buy a box or a pack, you got a good chance of getting something that you deem to be a hit, but you're sure as hell not making your money back on it.
Yeah.
In a lot of the cases. So, back in if you think about the original,
particularly at the moment, I think sealed and singles, that equation is completely out of whack. Yeah,
it definitely is. I mean, early finest, just the refractor version with the chase cards. One a box. Now there's like a silver a pack if you buy a Prism. So the bar's been dropped so low that I don't think people actually know what rare is anymore, because everything is deemed as a chase card for whatever reason.
What would you call rare at the moment then? How do you sort of perceive that? Because actually we were talking about this yesterday, because Adam was saying that one-of-ones aren't special anymore. Or what was the word you used, Dad?
It was basically, there was so many one-of-ones these days that, like, what do you compare? Well, it's comparing Donruss. So it was, cool, there's a one-of-one in that, but there's 27 in Select that are coming out. Like, there's not a true one-of-one. And what's the value of a one-of-one if it's a sticker auto on a... Look, the card looked good, the Paolo card we talked about, but I'm like, I'd probably be more comfortable spending $7,000 on a numbered to 49 RPA of the guy.
Yeah. Well, I guess
I don't know.
What happens is you're driving, or the hobby is driving and forcing people to select.
Yeah.
You lay a whole bunch of hits down. What is the actual chase one among it? Is it the zebra peacock, something with fucking Monopoly on it or something?
The Monopoly stuff. Oh my God.
I don't even know. And to me, they all look garbage anyway. So I don't really even care. You know what I mean?
But are they junk waxing it by creating more parallels? Is what my argument was.
Yeah, they're redundicizing the chase.
Yeah.
Because everyone wins the chase. But do you really? Probably not. I just think of some of the classic inserts of the past, like really just amazing base cards like Flair Showcase and things like that. Right?
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
Legacies with the chase, and then they had the one-of-one masterpieces. And that was it. That was it.
There was no... I mean, I liked rainbows about... What are we now, 2023? Say 7 or 8 years ago. I liked a rainbow when a rainbow chase meant 8 to 10 cards. Do you know what I mean? I've got my base, I've got my silver parallel, and then I've got all the numbered parallels.
Yeah.
And you go $2.99, $1.99, $99, $49, $25, 10, 5, one-of-one. You pull the one-of-one, you go, the rest of that is achievable.
Yeah.
Now people are like, I have 2 one-of-ones, but I'm missing the other 7, and I need...
I think I saw a guy on Reddit that, because it made me think about poker. Because you have the raw flush and you've got all of the same inserts. So. And some guy on Reddit had put, like, I got a rainbow, but it was like all from Prison. And they were all different parallels. So they weren't the same card, but he just got the numbering. So it was like each of the parallels he had managed to get his guy, but in each of them, but not the same parallel the whole way through. So it might be like ready for takeoff out of 149, it was Bron. Then he's got another subset that Bron's in another parallel of one of those, and he had a 101 as well.
Yeah.
But the ability to get a true rainbow is so impossible now.
Yeah.
Essentially, that you got people doing not a royal flush in poker, but a straight flush.
Yeah.
It's not like it was kind of crazy. I was like, well, I think new collectors are kind of like that, and they go, hey, it's cool that I've got like all the different serials. It's like, okay, cool.
isn't it just catering to the market though? Like,
But is it though? Like, I feel
I mean,
like
not
I don't
the-
want to chase a rainbow because there's too much of it now. So
not exactly the rainbow chasing, because I think
Yeah.
that's crazy,
You mean the hits?
ridiculous. I mean the hits, because like even you get something out of 199 now, it's like, oh yeah, like you see breakers and you get an order of something, it's like
that
oh
it's
yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
That's a fair point.
You know
You know-
why they don't put pack odds anymore? I mean, this is why.
Yeah, because it's
You
one
know the
pack.
last time there
One
was
in
pack
36
odds?
packs, 1 in 18. You buy a box, you know you're probably going to get one of these, 2 of these, and maybe 4 of these.
Now-
and you might get of this.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there were pack odds on the Space Jam release.
There you go, upper deck,
God.
eh?
Yeah. Good old Upper Deck.
Deck.
Good old Upper Deck.
Good.
And they, nail on the head. They were like, and I think the chance of getting a LeBron auto,
It's like
From-
20,000 packs or something. Eh?
it was 200 and something thousand was to
was
get
it
the
200?
auto
Oh,
packs.
200.
Or was
If you're asking-
one in a quarter of a million cards or something. It was ridiculous. And you had to do the maths back on it.
But if you're asking what rare is, I mean,
Yeah.
that is the rarity.
Yeah.
You know, what's the chance of hitting a silver in a box of Prism 1 in every 2 packs?
Yeah.
Wow, I hit one. Am I rich now? Probably not. You know what I mean? But if it's like 1 in 200,000 cards, you go, okay, this might be actually legitimately rare.
Yeah.
So just hold that thought for a second, because I actually think they've done that on purpose. So they've
Ooh.
definitely expanded out the print run. I think there's like no debate about that.
No, to fill
then-
demand. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely demand, right? Because I
Yep.
think if they didn't do that, I think what we would still be experiencing is those insane prices that we had. Because I think there's actually these days there is actually more people participating in the hobby.
Yeah.
And when they didn't print enough in that 17, 18, 18, 19 year, I think that was part of the reason why the prices did get driven up a bit, because there was actually, more people in there. And so I think at the moment, it's correct what you're saying. You're going to open these packets and you're not going to really get anything out valuable. But I still think there is a demand for people to open packets and enjoy that sort of, experience of doing it. So that's one part of it. Then
Yeah.
the second part of it is then actually creating genuine scarcity, which, so for example, maybe the one that's easiest for me to explain is a case hit, say, out of Court Kings, right? Like the blank slate.
Yeah.
Like that's genuinely a hard card to pull. Maybe 1 per case, maybe 0 per case, maybe 2 if you're very lucky, but otherwise,
Yeah.
quite difficult to get.
But I think
Yeah,
the
true,
hobbies recognise that. I mean, they're doing it with blank slates, kabooms, downtowns.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone kind of knows that if you think about the chase cards from the last sort of 5 years that probably are actually going to stand the test of time as far as sets goes, it's those ones.
Yeah.
Because I think the hobby knows.
Yeah.
And they've kind of figured it out and go, okay, these are actually legit rare. You don't see too much of them. They are highly collectible.
Yeah.
They're on the list.
Yeah, true.
Then,
And I think what you were saying before, Russ, about the overprinting for the demand and stuff. You're right, but I think we're only seeing the back end of that now. There was a real big time where they were rinsing the market in those same scenarios where the demand was high, the hits were and the price was high too.
Yeah.
And
So-
I think once they came out the back end of that, and
what
the
year are you
demand
talking
goes
about, Parris?
pretty much all the COVID times.
I was
You know,
going to
and-
say, what about your 20,000 Lucas or your 20,000 base Zions
yeah.
for the PSA 10s?
Hang
Yeah,
on.
and it would go back to then as well. But I mean, Luca and Zion kind of reignited it for when COVID hit.
Yeah.
There was already that hype kind of driving it.
Yeah,
So
true.
can I just interject there, because so this is the example I'm going to give for that. So 22-23 retail Prism, in one case you get one numbered card to 42, right? So do the maths on the cases for that, right? The other thing to consider too is I spend too much time on Twitter, but I see all those pictures, people going to their local Targets and all the shelves are full.
Yeah.
Now you multiply out how big America is and how many Targets there are, right, with the full shelves.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Like, do the maths, right? The amount of stuff that I think they're currently printing,
Well, they've separated products into
gives me
retail and hobby release, right?
Totally, yeah, 100%. But it just gives me a headache more than even looking at the parallel list on Prism Hobby, right? Like it's just that to me is unbelievable.
The problem that they don't have going in their favour now is they don't have that Zion guy. They don't have Luca. I mean, who?
Wembanyama's coming.
Cade got injured, and he was like super hot. I haven't heard anyone talk about Cade Cunningham in months.
We talk about him every week on the show. Come on,
Every couple of weeks.
lads, that means you're not tuning in.
Pistons fan.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. Like I don't know. Is it Paolo Banchero? Is he the new guy that everyone's going to be going out and buying boxes looking for?
No.
Not until he leaves Orlando.
Probably not. But you know what I mean? You need kind of the candle burning from both sides. You know, there needs to be the person,
the supply and the demand.
Yeah. And I think they went through the part where the demand was bigger than the supply.
Yep.
And then they increased the supply, which grew in tandem with the demand because of COVID and everything. Yeah. And now they kept those things up, and the demand's fallen off, and that's why you're seeing full shelves and stuff like that. Because they've got all this product, but everyone, well, sample of one, when I'm looking at what could be in there, there's zero interest for me.
So I'm going to try and just put a positive spin because I really want some positivity out of where the hobby's going.
He's talking like a guy that's got like 50 cases of cards he's just bought.
No. What the positive light I'm thinking about is maybe these products aren't for us. Maybe these parallels upon parallels aren't for us. Maybe it's for the grassroots, the kids, the 10-year-olds to the 15-year-olds that play domestic basketball. That's why the shelves are chockers. With this product, we keep chasing the product because we're so scared of the scarcity of the good stuff that we grab whatever we could. And we started taking hoops out of the hands of kids. I think we need to slowly move away from that and go, you know what? We're grown-ass adults. Let's buy adult products. You know what I mean? Where you're buying the product that has the rarer hits, the autos we're chasing, the quality, the RPAs. Now, maybe that's still out of our range because of the boom, but we shouldn't be drawing on hoops and Donruss.
You know, I mean, Collector's Choice back in the day was the lowest sort of value entry product, that and hoops, I guess.
I want, what's his name? John, what's the Jordan thing from Collector's Choice? That's my chase. Oh, wait, no, that was Upper Deck SE. Different set.
I've got the
Platinum Club, I think, was the parallel on that, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
anyway, I'm gonna
Players Clubs and Players Club Platinum.
Yeah.
But we do. It's when we were kids, there was cheap product for us, right?
Yeah.
So because of the COVID lunacy of all these investors buying up product, we've got this insane FOMO, and we were taking hoops blasters off the shelf to stop just so we could get them.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think it's spot on the money.
I mean, Breakers did a lot in there as well. I mean, they were able to break boxes of hoops for 40% above retail if they could get them at a cumulative level. So it became a business.
Yeah. Does the high end sealed come down now? Because the market, the bottom of the market starting to implode.
I think it has to, because I mean, you know, a lot of the breaking of high-end products very hard to fill.
And we all speak about the glory, like the good old days. I do. I like being able to go in case breaks of NT for reasonable prices, not a box break of NT. I think it just readjusts. It'll just readjust because people will stop buying it because there are wealthy people that are buying up all the product.
I'm not buying in. I know we talked about this last time on you guys. I'm not buying into an NT break when they got sticker autos, and not this piece of jersey is not associated to any player.
Someone in the organisation
I'm not buying into it. Yeah.
Put this on the court we play on. And then there's...
Yeah, it could be anyone. So I think it just readed.
If you're collecting the Pistons, I mean, you could buy every single card you want for the cost of the entry, probably, couldn't you?
Correct, and that's...
I mean, that's not even trying to be funny. You know, I mean, that's kind of truth. I mean, you know, I would never enter a flawless break looking for Raptors to get Stoudemire stuff or whatever. I'd buy it all secondary and all
market.
the people that busted and break it and go, who the hell is this guy? I'm going, thank you. You know, I'm not paying those premiums.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
Thank you for getting them.
That's true. I just think there's there's a market correction that hasn't sort of flowed all the way through, and at the moment the bottom end's copying it.
I would think I would hope that Fanatics has probably got a bit of a strategy around that, because it's vitally important, like I think we touched on before, to be able to get the kids back in and get them falling in love with the hobby of basketball cards, not the business of basketball cards, where you see all these little kids like that, sport card investors, kids always flipping shit and doing all this. And I made $40 and I did this and I did that. And it's like, okay, cool. But, you know, are you going to be doing it in 5 years or 10 years?
Yep.
You know, how much do you actually love the hobby, or are you just doing it because your dad's lost $1 million in cards and he needs the help? I don't know. Yeah. It could be anything. But, you know, I don't know. I think you have to love it before you profit from it, ideally.
You have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy collecting cards, whether if you want to make a bit of money out of it or not. At the end of the day, you have to. You'll fall out. It's like anything. If you're collecting anything, if you don't really like it, your heart's not in it, and you'll eventually move on to something else. It's just a readjustment period still, and probably the bottom's still coming up in a little bit, but then things will start coming back.
It will. I tend to agree. I feel like the real world economy, the problems we're having in the real world economically, some of that needs to be applied to the hobby, because, I mean, we can't combat inflation in the hobby until people's spending habits within it change.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is happening. I mean, I'm not seeing anywhere close to the volume of breaks being advertised and filled, or, you know, and to your point before, lots more sales and that sort of stuff. So I think that everyone's trying to figure out the liquidity of the market at the moment.
It's really cooled off. 100%. It's
And
but
if
I mean,
you
saying
don't,
that, like I said before about the sort of the bulletproof sets and times as well. I mean, they're still like as strong as ever. I mean, especially more so maybe in the mid range. Like, you know, there's still good money out there for legitimately rare things. It's just anyone that's a hobby fan and knows a lot about the hobby can instantly tell what's worth money and what's not. And I think new dumb money coming in is just like shiny stuff, give it to me, you know.
Exactly.
So I want to hold this thought about, we're talking about the card market cooling off, and I want to talk about sealed boxes. So I'm going to list off to you guys a whole lot of sealed product, and then I want you to predict for me what's going to happen to it over the next couple of years. So all of these sales are Prism Hobby. So I'll just tell you the year and the price. So 2012, $5,040. These are all USD. 2017, $1,175. And all of these prices are verified from Card Ladder. 2018, $3,999. 2019, $1,106. 2020, 1K. Now there was a little bit of gaps here, so the next one is 2023 and sitting around 500, 550 US at the moment. So,
well, I would say that last one's going to drop. If I had to have a guess. I mean, I think the key rookie years for people are always going to have some value. I mean, you know, like in our group, Michael Sharp's got boxes of Chrome, I think, from Vince Carter's year and stuff, and it's like he's just kept those since he got them, I think. So, you know, and even still, you still got to have someone as, you know, of the caliber of like a Vince Carter or whoever else was in the, you know, rookie year for it to have the value that it has today. You know, but if you've got anything sort of 96, 97 Kobe year stuff or 2003 Bron year stuff, I mean, that's going to be a hold for as long as you can handle it, I think. Probably the thing. And don't drink whiskey and open it. You know, probably
That's true. It's. I mean, you go looking for 96 product. There's none. Like, not openly for sale, not for any reasonable amount of money.
So, is there any of this that you lads are buying up and putting away for the long term?
Not me personally, because I mean the the only modern guy collects Brandon Clark. So, and it's cheaper than it's ever been. So I'm not going to kind of bank that, in regards to that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I still think it's too volatile at the moment. Outside of a Giannis, a Curry, a whatever, there's probably some bit more faith I'd have in those. But again, last sort of 3-4 years.
Yeah, I think you just got to go where the proven players are. They've got to have built up that reputation, build up, wins. And so going back through each of the hobby boxes, you just got to hold it long enough. I think all of them if you hang on to them long enough, you're going to make money eventually at some stage. But there's obvious draft classes spread throughout which just aren't as good. Like I think it was the one after Giannis, which was like Wiggins was the number one pick. So you probably don't want to go with those ones, but like if you hold on to 18, if you hold on to like 18, 19 with Luka, like eventually you'll make your money back. How long do you want to hold it for? That's basically what it comes down to.
Was there was hype about the one of one, the black, the one of one for Luka not being pulled. That drove prices through the roof, remember?
And the bounty on that
too.
Yeah, so if you do your research and go, what's actually out on the market, what actually has been pulled, and you know that there's a few key cards out of that product which haven't surfaced, you can go, well, this might be a good thing to hang on to. And then, you can build up quickly a marketing thing around it.
Of course.
It's not that hard these days. So you just got to do a bit of research into it. And if you go original 2012 Prism, the first year, it's the first year Prism. Prism has made its name whether we like it or not. Just like Finest, I love Finest. But if you have first year Finest unopened boxes, you can't go wrong. So just buy at the right time in the right place.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So Prism's got the name. I wouldn't be buying hoops or of that. Prism is your standard.
Yeah.
Right. Do your research. Get it at the right time. Make sure there are players in there, in that draft class, that have built up over the years collectability. So,
I guess we've never had that buy-in price that we've sort of seen as well, like Flawless NT, Eminence, all those sort of top level, card boxes, thousands and thousands of dollars. The ones I guess that we're saying, hey, it would have been cool if you banked them, were $120 boxes, on release and stuff like that. So you've immediately got 100x on the entry point.
It's the insane profit.
See those boxes be $100,000 in 15 years. And the only reason why those early Finest and Kobe years is because Jordan and Kobe were in it.
Yeah.
One I'd take a flyer on is maybe that French kid. I mean, hey, he could be incredible. He could be incredible. Would I bet farm on it? Absolutely not, because just look at the last 5 years of draft, key draft people who's outside of Luka. Really, there's been a whole bunch of big names that have also been around that the hobby's just gone
dropped right off.
Even like Anthony Edwards and stuff. I mean, he's a great player, got a good fan base, but I don't see people banking on boxes and stuff because he's in there and all that sort of stuff. It's like you kind of need that the test of time.
You definitely do.
You
definitely do.
Performance. And even if it is Hall of Fame career, I mean, there's Hall of Famers that you wouldn't get the money for that people pay for Rasheed Wallace. I mean, you just need those, if you're talking about investment, those niche collectors of players like Rasheed, Dennis Rodman, all those guys are ridiculous. They fight over cards pretty much, to win them and pay far beyond the comps and everything.
But the card they're not fighting over is the silver prism. Because they've got one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the one of ones. It's the number to 10, the number to 5.
Like that.
Yeah. It's a
high
end.
Grand finale turn up and people just lost their bloody mind bidding for it.
So just to reinforce what you just said, I actually think the numbers that we just read through actually show that out, because I think really everything other than 2012 everything's sitting around $1,000 with the exception of 18, which is like the Luca year. So maybe that's what everyone else has really written off those other years, and then they're banking on that 18 year being the one. So like that's a trend that's already showing up already. Look, my thing about sealed boxes at the moment is I've sort of come off this experience going through COVID where I couldn't actually buy boxes, and the only thing I could buy was like retail at just like stupid prices. So, you know, when things did tail off, there was instances where I was hanging on to stock that was basically bad, right? So I went through that sort of experience. Yeah. Now the current experience, as of like this week, I've been offered stock that I'm not going to purchase because I've got no confidence at all that I can actually A, break it, B, sell it, or even C, razz it. Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy, isn't it?
I don't want to be, holding onto that stock and then.
It was 2 years ago. You would have just said, give it to me.
Yeah, I definitely would have been saying, I feel good about, breaking this, whereas at the moment, it's the exact opposite. I don't feel good about it. And in fact, that's the conversation I'm about to have tomorrow. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't want this stock. So, where do you... That for me is just such a crazy sort of turnaround from, the times that we just had. And you guys were talking before about, we haven't hit the bottom yet. So maybe this is another sign that, things are, absolutely cooling off. So for me, I think what's going to happen is I think sealed is going to come down a little bit more.
Yep.
And, to flip the good side of this, I think that's really good for collectors. I think it's really good for people going into breaks.
I do.
And I think it's good for... I think in some ways it's also good for singles prices. So the example that I know you guys are going to thumb your nose at, but for me it's like a really easy one to explain. So you go and you get a $20 blaster from Target if you live in America.
Yep.
And then you actually hit a Cade Silver out of it. Like the equation on that works.
True.
And I think that...
Even with current prices.
Yeah. And the same sort of theory can then be applied to breaks, a lot more easily. If the price is coming off stuff, like I'm kind of excited about it, So
well, it's all ROI. I mean, at the end of the day, I think so many people have got burnt. I was talking to someone the other day. Like,
it's EV. Everyone wants to,
have a guesstimate at how much money Zion hype sucked out of the hobby.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would be huge.
Maybe $1 billion, I suppose.
It would be huge. Some of the prices that were going, and what they go for now. Like I was, I just go through and look at like Zion PSA 10s and Jars PSA 10s. You get Hoop PSA 10 Jar Morant, 18 US, 15 US. That was $100 US card not too long ago. Yeah. And those $19, they're not even selling. It's like... Yeah, I think it's the investment and the return. Either people have gotten burnt or they know that it's liquidated and there's so much supply, and it's like, well, what's the point? Again, rarity, or just have something that is 30,000 graded PSA 10.
Yeah.
And I think with sealed boxes too, I think that little bit of extra research into things, and sometimes it's just a bit of luck too. I mean, if you had some Metal Universe sealed boxes, a lot of people didn't like it back in the day. So go through all the different set releases, 100%. Go through the different boxes, and this shit looks really good, and not many people are actually buying it, and there is some rarity in there. Let's take if you were going for a punt to resell it, have a look through, because Metal Universe is my favorite set of all time. But I wish I actually collected back then. I'd already gone to high school and was over cards by then. But man, if you held on to some Metal Universe when people didn't like it, and now you've got sealed boxes of that, man, you are in the
you've made some cash back, right?
Yeah, so maybe look back at some early Court Kings releases with some really nice, even the base sets and that were really cool. So maybe let's just do a bit of research and have a look back through and see what you can pick up at a good price.
You've always got that what if factor with sealed.
Yeah.
That's always going to be there. So it's the what if it's got the Luca Black? What if it's the who knows what? That's always going to be a selling point for sealed product.
For sure. But I guess...
What if it's that Wiggins
But you could have the hoop. You could have the 1991 hoops. Do you know what I mean?
Brooks.
Like,
Dylan Brooks.
you could buy a bunch of product and it turns out to be 1991 hoops, or it turns out to be, is it 1980, 85 Fleer, or 87 Fleer, whatever it is.
86, you nearly got there.
Close.
Keep on saying numbers, I reckon.
That's all right. I was going to keep saying years until someone said right.
Is it 84? I mean, 85.
I actually wanted 89 Fleer, funnily enough, because that was Pippin's rookie year, and I couldn't even get product of that.
Yeah, I mean, I still kind of come back to just you can count on your hand the game-changing players of the last sort of 25 years.
You mean every draft class doesn't have the next Michael Jordan in it?
Yeah, it's that Wembanyama guy next year.
It was Chet this year, wasn't it? Chet and Paolo.
I remember him.
Anthony Bennett. He was built like LeBron.
God, yeah.
Hasheem Thabeet.
But that's the whole thing. Just remind yourself. Go and have a look at the draft classes for the last sort of 10 years and see you'd still be making even money on if you bought. There's probably less than 5 people.
Damn it! I was trying to find my friend's birthday present. I bought a silver prism Anthony Bennett. Anyway, cost me $5.
Stink friend.
5 or 10.
Can we please
Now that's
talk
a friend.
Yeah.
Can we please talk about Contenders Hobby? Let's do a product review on that.
Yes, please.
We've talked about how overprinted products are, so let's talk about a product.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it.
So my 2-sentence summary on it is that they've mixed it up this year, and actually, I quite like it.
Can we do a show and tell? If you got a product?
Not on hand actually, but the best way I would describe most of the base cards are almost like a Mojo type print. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I quite like about it too is the on-card autos in it, and then of course
on-card's always good,
like the license ticket. So I think in terms of scarcity, I think the scarce cards are obviously the license cards and then the on-card autos, and then in terms of just busting the packs open, the Mojo cards are just really, really nice. And I think that, so my sort of take on this is that if you enjoy set collecting, that might be a really nice one to actually check out and sort of get your teeth into, because it's a pretty thoughtful set. And I think that sometimes we just disregard some cards, and they're just we just consider them to be like throwaways, but I think some cards it's okay actually to hang on to them. So
it's kind of why I like Chronicles. They just got all the different sort of sets that exist within it. They got some really cool looking stuff.
The nostalgia factor to it.
Did you ever finish a set of Chronicles Parris?
No.
I was going to say, it's a huge checklist, isn't it?
650 or something like that.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
Got to print them cards, make them packs, and sell them boxes.
Carl, what
Contenders is one of the cheaper products, and I think it's if they're putting on-card autos in it, think it's like I saw with Revolution, just some opening up over the last couple of weeks, and on-card autos in there. I was like, oh, on-cards, shit, it was surprised me. I was like, wow, that's good. So if you're getting more on-card stuff back in there is really good. Now, Contenders is like sort of the prism of NFL. So like the Tom Brady Contenders is one of the most sought after cards in NFL collecting. It hasn't translated to NBA, but
definitely not.
It shows that there's something worth collecting there, and I think it's a good variation between, like, if you just want to collect the base set, you can pick up really cheap. It's like 100 card base set, I think, for Contenders, or it used to be, and picked it up dirt cheap. They always look decent enough, and as long as if you can get on card autos in there, it's good, and they're sticking to what it's good at. Like, what did Parris? We talked about it many times last year. When it was like Recon and they had jersey cards, and it's like, just get it out of Recon. It's not that type of product. So they stick to what it does best. It's a ticket. It shows their weight. I think the weight is the seat number, and the rows their age and stuff. So they just stick to what it does best. So to me, like, it's just a good little cheap product to get into. So ones like that I think it's I think it's pretty decent.
And I think the ROI needs to match that. You know, if there's no massive chase player and it's a product that you're, like what Carl was saying, you know what it is.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be something that it's not. It's a year where there's not a crazy good rookie class. Well, the cost of buying and the cost of the box has to reflect all of that for it to be a good value exchange. You know, and I think that's probably the thing that we're still trying to find at the moment.
Yeah.
I think, you know, and it's, you know, we talked about this, I think, before, like, you know, just local card shops and how it sort of used to be coming up, and you know, you could actually go to a store and bust some packs, and you know, it was $4 a pack or whatever it was, and you know, that whole part of the economy was stripped out of. The affordability was kind of not a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It was just that's just the cost, and here's some cool cards, and don't we all love basketball? Absolutely. You know what I mean? And that was kind of it. Now it's like, you know, shelves of different products, and you know, where do I want to spend my money? And you know, it's gambling. It's like a casino.
Is that part of the problem now? There's just too many choices.
I think in some
a
ways,
little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Do we really need recon? No, not really.
Recon could go. I think that's pretty fair. And probably Flux, I think, could go.
Yeah, Flux could go. Like, we don't need those.
Yeah.
But people are buying it. That's the thing. At the end of the day, people are going to buy it.
People were buying it.
They were. So that's the question, right? Like,
there was a couple of cards in Recon that did pretty well, though, wasn't there? So there was that sort of the horizontal card that had the
Stratosphere, was it?
The autograph all the way across the card, like that sort of rookie card. I thought that was pretty reasonable.
But I think that's what some of those products kind of need. They need something that's exclusive to them.
Yeah,
it's actually rare.
Yeah,
you're probably not going to get one if you buy a box, but you might. But hey, you're only spending $80 on a box or whatever it is, you know. So you can still get a lot of fun of ripping it with your kids or your friends or whatever, and you don't feel like you get to the end of it and you go, man, I got taken for a ride. You know, it's just like, yeah, it was worth it. You know, the cost to play was fine.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I keep going back to the National Treasures of the last 2 years. When I saw dudes open a box of National Treasures, and the best card they pulled out there was a Robert Parris sticker auto out of 99. That was the best card. Your value, like, you could go on the singles market and pick that up for $20. American, maybe like 30.
It'd be on pocket change. Literally, we'd jump on eBay and get it for pocket change.
Yeah, now that's where you get killed. Like, I'm not. Yeah, sticker autos and NT.
I'm not walking into the high rollers room with all of my money only to get a free can of Coke and told to get out after they take it all. Yeah, it's terrible.
So the next product I want to review is Prism, and let's try to stay on a product review, lads. Let's start with Adam at the top. What do you think, Ad?
How many parallels are there?
Hang on. How long we got?
So,
why are you going to say that?
No.
Seriously, how many?
Prism's Prism. It's the Topps Chrome, right? It's the mothership. That's the flagship of the rookies. That's what Prism is. They don't need to reinvent themselves. There's a few cool little subsets, insert chasers that are cute. That's Prism in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah, I think with I reckon they need to up their insert quality. Like,
I thought you were about to say quantity. I'm like, no, they don't.
Not
parallels, you reckon? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we could try that. We could try that.
Because like the inserts are piss poor. Like the design and the look of them. I said the prismatic one is trying to get there.
I do like prismatic.
Yeah. But the dominance ones and they're just like fucking 6-year-olds just gone and done it, you know?
I don't mind the luck of the lottery. I think that's a nice little card.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's a few interesting ones, but they just become so generic, I guess, because of the volume.
Yeah, I like inserts, and I just wish they're there.
We know how to get Parris back on board. You got to put pack odds on the back of the Prism packs, and the inserts
Dominance,
need to
3
be
in every pack. Yeah.
3 in every pack.
So
Guaranteed hits.
I don't think they put a lot of effort into Prism inserts on purpose. So I think, you talk about for know your product. I think we all know what we're into Prism for. It's just for the silver rookies.
Chucking another rookie. instead of a crap
or a
insert.
color match parallel.
Monopoly.
Yes.
Because I think they put
Monopoly.
a lot of thought into the hoops inserts, and I would actually say even the select inserts are pretty thoughtful. Whereas, I'm sort of a bit like, so there's 52 parallels.
They've gone up. I think last time I counted it was 48 or
One
something.
for every week of the
Select and Prism are seriously trying to.
One for every week of the year. That's classic, man. We need to turn that into a sound clip.
Oh my god!
But that includes choice. That includes fast break. That includes hobby. That includes retail and also the blasters. So there's spread it. Oh, and lucky envelopes. I'm just looking at that now too. So
Do you know the funny part is? Select are going to release, and there'll be 53 different one of ones.
Yeah,
And that'll be
their design teams. We're not taking this shit. We can easily do more than that. But funnily enough, like you were talking about the lucky envelopes and all that sort of stuff, they're like all numbered to 8, and they're periodically really, really, really cheap parallels that turn up on eBay. They,
worth a look
cards.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, cool looking cards. They're on my save search list all the time.
Yeah.
I've probably bought about 50 of them.
Yeah.
For next to nothing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think I got a couple of rookie parallels for not a lot of money at all.
Wow.
See, that's the thing. Do some research. Look what's out there. What's
Still number
rare
to 8.
out of 8. And it looks good.
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
cool.
And they might be cheap as chips now, but with when the market corrects itself and this is all over and the next wave comes, it's cards like that'll start going for insane prices.
Yeah.
Because they're actually rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they look good.
Anyway, but we're still on Prism, Russell. We haven't forgotten.
Sorry, Ross.
We segued a bit.
You lost us at 52 parallels, and we're just like, what?
I actually think the QC's improved this year. The only thing I noticed was maybe cards, if you're setting them to grading, I think surf is going to be an issue. So
Scuffed, scratched, or
really a small sample size, what I've had my hands on, and all the rest of it.
There's a video about how to fix that floating around, I think. So.
yeah.
That's the perfect segue.
That's so next. That is so next.
Let's talk about
And
Mr.
while I am
Mathis
saying that,
and his card trimming video. Come on, guys! I definitely want to hear what you've got to say about this because I know Parris.
We have both weighed in on this.
You're
I
gonna have
was
lots to say about
teasing
this. So,
ads about buying the the set. You get the guillotine, the little rubby thing, the wax pack, the whole lot.
I can't believe you paid for express shipping on yours. I have to
I'm
wait.
catching
I have to
up.
wait
I've
3 weeks for this to come.
I've got this Larry Johnson ruby here that I'm hoping I'm going to become a millionaire off.
He's going to trim it down and
Yeah, there's one little bung edge that I'm not too happy with. So that little guy, he's a ruby, Larry Johnson.
yep.
Just a little bit off the top, and I reckon I could double my money.
0.2 of a mil off the top, you'll be fine.
Hey, I cut it fine, so I reckon I'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
I've got a good eye.
You bought the suggested blade, so you'll be right.
Yeah, I did. I say I want that exact one that arsehole on TikTok says. And they were like, yes, we've had quite a number of calls this morning about that, and please stand by for delivery.
Yep.
Yeah.
where do you
But yeah,
stand on trimming Carl and Parris? Are you for it, against it? Where do you stand?
I'm absolutely against it, and it muddies the water when you see things like that, because once it's graded, it's legit, right? You're not going to pull it. If that example, that video, say you graded that card and it went PSA 10, how could you ever prove that it was or wasn't? Once it's endorsed, it is what it is, and if it goes from being an 8 to a 10 because someone takes a little guillotine and rubs some wax on it and fuffs around and hey presto, they 10x their money. I mean, it's always been a thing. I mean, this is what Blowout's been sort of working on for years and years and years, trying to expose people doing that, and how they go through Beckett to get them graded in bulk and known trimmers and all this. It's been going on for donkey's years, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the things that I own have possibly been trimmed as well, because you'd never know.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest risk. I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
You don't consider it card restoration. You consider it like what would you call it? A criminal act? How do you describe
Well, it's
it?
not the original condition, right? You are editing the card, for lack of a better term, right?
Yep.
And I
Modifying
guess the
the
only
condition.
reason why you would do that is I can't imagine a lot of people doing that on the cards for their PC, and they're just like, oh wow, it's just so much better now, it's a bit straighter or whatever. These are all people that are planning on wanting to send them in and get them graded and
flip
sell
it.
them. So it's all for monetary gain, and I don't know. Part of me would really love to know, and part of me would hate to know the amount of graded trimmed cards that there are. What percentage of key chase cards are trimmed? Well, I don't think there's much in the modern, because, like you said, sometimes the quality control on a lot of things has kind of gotten good, and it's harder to cut those sort of cards. But the vintage, late 90s things, I mean, the thing that trips me out is the patch replacement guys. Like the blowout guys have done a whole bunch of work on that, like serial numbered Durant, Curry rookie cards that were pulled that have a photo with a really boring patch in it, same serial, same everything, with a badge pack, like one of the best parts of the jersey. We're like, how the hell did they do this?
Yeah, totally right.
Yeah, that's another level than trimming.
Yeah.
Like if we think trimming's bad, well, that's another level. That shit.
It's artistry almost. You'd have to be a professional to be able to.
It's insane, right?
What skill set you need, but having the balls to try it on a Curry rookie jersey and RPA and not screwing it up is a pretty ballsy move.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
I think it's the whole with the trimming. It's like you feel like you're being cheated, right? Like it's like shit.
Yeah.
I didn't get the right thing, because in all honesty, like if you were just keeping it for your PC, like who cares? It's your card. You can do what the hell you want with it. You cut it in half. I've seen people light shit on fire before. Like that's fine. It's the deceit of changing it and then selling it without letting the buyer know. That's the trouble. And once it gets graded, you're like, sweet, out of my hands now. I've got away with that. The grading company's gone and slapped the slab on it.
They've authenticated my fraud.
Yeah. So if you sent it to PSA and say it's altered, well,
someone on the forums was talking about that. The comic book world has a tag that says when a comic's been restored, like when it's had work done to it.
It should be altered. Like I don't mind the cleaning aspect.
Yeah,
that's fine to me. Like you can clean. Like who say you can't clean shit? Like like Parris, like with the antiques and watches and things. I'm sure they clean that. Like if you got a classic Chevy Impala sitting in your shed you want to resell, you're not going to leave all the dirt and stuff on it and driving down the road. Exactly. You get it cleaned. You clean it, but if you take away the original dash and put in a new dashboard in that car, you're going to have to say that's altered when you go to resell it.
That's a really good example. But what happens if you strip the paint? You strip the original coat and recoat the paint.
You got to say
because that's trimming it.
Paint. You got to say this is not the original paint.
If you buff it back,
it's still the same thing. Like
but it's still the original coat.
Yeah, well,
that's trimming it. That's trimming it.
So recoloring a card would be altered.
I think the interesting one, like with watches and stuff like that, there's a massive premium on originality.
Yes.
So, like this one that I'm wearing, so that's a 77 Submariner, right? If I got that service, if you send this to Rolex and they service it, they'll go, hands a bit shit, new set of hands, dial's a bit crap, put a new dial on it. And that would probably cut 50% of the value off it.
Yep.
Even though it works better.
Because it might be more functional, but it is no longer original.
It's not original.
Yeah.
And the people that collect and all that sort of stuff, that's what they're looking for.
Yep, for sure.
The hands are new, the dial's new, the bracelet's new, whatever.
Yeah.
Even though 80% of it's still original, you don't get that premium that you kind of, I guess, would for an authentic Jordan rookie PSA 10 that is unaltered, that is just pack perfect and original and authentic. That will always, but how do you tell? I mean, it's easy to tell looking at a watch. I'd know, but would you know looking at a trimmed any card?
I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's
If
why
it's the right measurements, right? Which that dude is actually doing.
Yeah.
If it's within the, the scale and the scope of it, I mean, who's to know? And like that guy in the video was roughing up the edges and flattening them and roughing them and things, so it looked like they were older or not freshly cut and all that sort of stuff. So people will do anything to make a buck, but that's not limited to our industry and our hobby.
I think what you said, Carl, though, really resonated with me because I couldn't articulate. I knew where my line was in the sand yesterday, but I couldn't say why. And I think you said the deceit. I think that if you're deliberately doing something for monetary gain, that is really what the issue at heart, isn't it? Because the actual card is fine, the card is perfect, but it's the deceit behind it. So well said, mate.
It is. You're right. You're saying they intend to deceive us by trimming the card.
Yeah.
They're not sending it out with a little letter saying, "Hope you like the work I did. I've done this. I've modified it this way."
Yeah. Here's the little bit of card I took off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that graded. The actual trimmings.
One deceit to the next. Let's talk about Monopoly Prism.
Because
I want to talk about this.
Yeah,
I know you don't want to talk about it in Paris, but I don't care. I want to talk about this.
No, I want to hear it. I'm just going to shit all over it.
I'm excited about this because I enjoy board games, and I've actually been waiting for a functional NBA board game for a very long time. So, Monopoly, it's just a home run. So, I like this because I can now play
Monopoly
NBA basketball game. I'm very happy about this. So, I think, the thing that's obviously happening at the moment is the flipping that's going on, and we've already spoken about this. The play isn't to buy it at 10x, it's to sell it at 10x. And what's happening at the moment, you can't buy any Monopoly sealed that hasn't basically been flipped. So for me, it's a 100% stay away, and I think it's a pump and dump. But I think what I've been looking at on eBay and Facebook sales, all that type of stuff, is buying them secondhand. They've already been opened, so that I can still get to play the game.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to put a little footnote on this because I've just had an error message.
An error message?
Is
everyone something happening with the audio?
Is everyone
My dog barked. That was about it.
Oh, well, that'll be it.
Yeah.
Time for the Blue Jays.
So I think the recording stopped actually. So Carl and Ads is still uploading.
Oh yeah, it says finished.
Oh wow. Is that because of the time left on? No.
I think it was an hour and 15.
Something error. Yeah.
We're still live on the internet, but
yeah. So
hey, internet.
I think we can just click.
Yeah, I can't even see my pictures. Can you guys still hear me?
I can hear you, but you're frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen.
So Carl, maybe just
it's a very serious face there, Carl.
Just refresh.
So where am I going?
Just if you refresh, I think you should come back.
Okay, refresh the whole.
Just refresh your browser.
You'll leave and come back. Yeah.
Oh, pop out, back in. I had that clipped very nicely. I'll bet he better not jump into the different spot. Oh no, that'd be fine. I'll have to play with it.
He's got that X factor. He could be anywhere.
Could be anywhere. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. I had to say that because we're talking about Monopoly.
Yeah, the thing that bugs me about it is just the.
No, wait, Parris. Yeah.
Oh.
Am I back?
You were. I thought you were still paused at the same pose.
So what I'll do is I'll hit recording. I'll just try and say the last sentence that I said, and then I'll open it to you, Parris. Okay, mate?
Everyone playing at home, this is how the magic happens. Whoa! I think you just kicked everybody out, Russell.
I forgot that was going to happen. I should have said that.
Let's go. I'm back.
Yeah, no, okay. That was going to happen when I clicked start. Sorry about that. I'll come back.
I too am a professional.
Yes. This is how we roll.
I forgot that was going to happen.
Carl's just talking. He doesn't know what's happened. No.
Come back,
no, we're all there. We're all there audio-wise, aren't we?
I haven't got Carl on my feed.
No, he's not.
No, he's not on
back
the
yet.
feed.
He's not
There
back.
he is.
There he is.
Sorry, Carl. I should have told you that was going to happen. I completely forgot.
He hasn't joined the video feed yet.
You should come back in a second.
This is the fun part. Ready to record.
Your art's coming along really nicely, Ross.
What's that, mate?
Your art in the background.
I know. I'm pretty talented, aren't
It's like,
I?
I like the impression, that Renaissance period look. And feel.
He drew that after the Kings lost to the Warriors. Go away, Steph Curry.
My
You bastard!
my 4-year-old loves coloring in. She'll just sit there for like
Just color
hours.
stuff.
just
It's a
coloring.
godsend.
She's and actually today's art class day, and she just like eats it up, man. Yeah, I really like that one. Actually, I think it's something about it. Like
It's like one of those Monopoly cards.
yeah.
I can hear
you
and
squint
see you.
your
Can you
eyes-
see me? Can't see you.
All right,
Can't
well,
see
see you.
you.
Did you pick the camera when you rejoined?
I can hear and see you guys. No, I can't see you. Okay, so should
I think Carl should
doesn't-
jump out and come back in.
Refresh.
yeah. So Carl refresh again, and then
Yeah.
And then we hopefully get the magic of television.
yeah, he's definitely in the room though, because it actually is saying like what microphone he's got. And
Yeah.
okay, now it's gone. Cool.
Refreshing again. Let's see how it goes. I need to really have a transition screen for everybody playing at home, so it's like a technical difficulties bleep.
Reprogramming the Matrix. Be right back.
Oh god. So are we going to be able to get the Monopoly game over this side of the? Like, is it outside? Is it outside the US? It's going to be near impossible, isn't it?
I think we can get it out.
Oh,
yeah.
whoop.
There he
Hey
is.
mate.
It's like nothing happened. We're all back together in the room. It's good.
Hey
Does he know
Carl,
he's back?
can you hear us, mate?
Hang on,
He's
is he frozen?
He's
I-
health
No, he's not. He's
check-
blinking.
No, he's
he's
blinked.
blinking.
He blinked. He's not frozen. He's checking
blinking.
something.
Guys, I can't get in.
Hello, mate.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
No, we can.
He
we
can hear us and
you.
see us though. We're all good
We
now.
can
Okay,
see
you
and
know
we
what?
can hear you.
If you can hear me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can see you too. Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Health check thing says it's all good.
He definitely can't see us.
Yeah, we.
We can see you. It's all good. Everything
Oh,
looks
this is
fine.
weird. It's switched around.
Yeah.
Can't hear you guys at all.
Oh.
All right. So
Health check thing says all good. No, I
Alright.
can't hear you.
all right. Well, why don't we all jump
Yeah,
out
I
and
can't
then
hear or see you
jump back
guys
in.
now.
Okay, shall I
Oh,
just
no.
refresh this?
Yeah.
Are we all jumping out?
Yeah, we'll
Um,
jump out.
I
yeah.
wonder if I should just go back and hit the link. I'll try that.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I'm going to...
Yeah, I'll go out and try the link again.
Okay. Well, I just refreshed. It seems to be working
Okay,
fine for me.
how do I get out of this?
Uh-oh. Just close the browser,
I'll
reopen
go
it.
right out. There you
Yeah.
go, guys. Open.
Yeah, just re-click the main link, I think.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. sir.
Everyone's, yeah, loud and clear. Everything's good.
Where's
you,
Carl,
Adam?
man? It's that Northland internet. It's dicey.
I think he's been having the most trouble with his internet for sure.
Yeah, they said it's been pissing down, and I'm guessing it's been damage. There might be damage down to things. I don't know how all this cabling stuff works, or if it's wireless, or if it's
It's like 2 cans and some string, I think, up there.
they're still on that system.
Yeah, we just rolled it out.
Cool. You got another guy that attaches a bit of string and just goes dinner, dinner every now and then.
You need to.
And
Sometimes you can break it and like put another bit of string if you need it to go further.
Oh, awesome.
A little bit of downtime, but I think that's maybe what Carl's doing actually.
That's probably, he's just gone out to get some extra string.
He's frantically paging people.
There have been many carrier pigeons released.
Look at the smoke signals. Read my message.
Oh no, poor Carl.
And we were just about to start Monopoly. So I'm just going to go through the Facebook while
Yeah.
Go. Well, I haven't even. Doesn't look like he's rejoined at all.
No.
Maybe he's restarted his computer or something.
Yeah, I think he might be doing the whole switch it off, switch it back on thing again.
Tech support level 1.
Do you work in IT, Parris?
Not really. So I work for an out-of-home.
Carl's now watching the Facebook feed.
Is he talking to us through the comments?
Wait, is he?
Hey, Carl.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, if you don't want to say personal stuff on
that's
the
all
live
right.
feed, I forgot about that.
No, that's cool.
All right,
I work for an out-of-home outdoors media company. So I run all the head of digital for all that. So
Cool.
I do a lot of tech stuff, a lot of all kinds of stuff. Can you hear us, Carl?
Yay!
Yes, we go. I don't know what happened there.
No idea, mate.
switched from you guys couldn't hear or see me, and then it changed around.
Yeah, so weird.
I don't know.
Zencaster, what are you doing?
Zencaster,
We were just giving it so many
This
raps.
is how good it was, you know?
So many raps for Zencaster, and now it's like, nah, forget it.
Absolute
Terrible.
trash.
Alrighty, so I like Monopoly because it gives me a chance to actually use cards to actually do something with, and I think that's been my probably biggest gripe about collecting and what you do with all your base cards. I like that about Pokemon, you actually play a game with them. So the other thing I think is exciting from sort of, having a kid perspective is that I think you could do your own custom cards and make your own cards and put them into the game. I think that would be quite fun. And so that's where I'm really sitting with the whole Monopoly Prism thing. I'm not excited about paying huge prices to, hit some, crazy parallel. And then, we didn't even go through the Monopoly parallels like that. I think that's in addition to.
Are they part of the set? Like the chase for Prism?
I think they're their own set.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Can you imagine all those poor people trying to collect all 52 parallels, and then they realize they've got another 5 parallels to collect?
Well, no, I think there's a lot.
Or more parallels.
There's a
70,
lot.
73 parallels in that one. So.
Oh.
So
Select are going to have to up their game.
what do you
Surprised
think
we're not
about
at
it?
100, honestly.
What do you think about it, Carl? Where are you sitting with it?
Total gimmick to me, but it's but if you don't mind board games, go for it. But I think when it first came out, I was like, Monopoly are doing their own parallels. You can get Monopoly everything these days. So
Yeah.
they're just cashing in too. So, I mean, I'm not going to buy anything. If I get given one, yeah, maybe. But there's no way I'm going out there to buy it. It's not true card collecting. It's
fair.
you want to get it from a pack. I've just got no interest in that at all. But if you do like board games, go for it, because if that's your thing. But yeah, I'm out on it.
Yeah.
Parris, how many parallels do you think there are?
Well, I jokingly said 70,
Okay.
but I could be low. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would hope it's not as much as Prism.
It's only a small release. There's 100
Come on,
cards, right?
Just have a guess. I feel like you're just procrastinating now.
26 half the year. One for
26?
half the year.
Yeah, not bad. Parris,
Yeah.
what do you think?
45.
Add
20.
30 is the correct answer.
There it
Still
is.
way too high.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That brings the net total to 82, the number of this episode.
Don't you even collect Monopoly?
Look at that full circle. The number of Prism parallels between normal Prism, Fast Break, and Monopoly brings it to 82. So welcome to episode 82.
This should be the starting.
Insane.
That is.
Insane.
We've gone full circle.
I get the whole mashup thing and collabs and all that sort of stuff, but it's kind of, I don't know if that sort of gamification thing is it needed? I don't know.
My follow-up would be, is it a one and done? The way it's sold at the moment, if I'm Hasbro and Panini, I'm trying to get another round in before I lose the license.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be trying to smash the shit out of it. Like, if you can sell it. I've seen people in the Sports Card Nonsense group, they're trying to buy it for investments. What the hell are you doing? Like, they're like, oh, I got nothing of value out of this. I'm like, you're trying to buy it as an investment? Like, just buy it if you like playing board games. As you said, Russell, if I was like you and I liked it and I like playing board games, then I might buy it. But if you're trying to buy it to make money, just...
If you're trying to buy it to make money, grab it, stash it, and in 20 years have a look and see what people will pay for it.
I'm going to totally contradict myself here, because if it was Lego and it was minifigs as Luca on a card, and you could potentially redeem them for Luca minifigs and stuff like that.
Don't give them ideas.
I'd give it a go. I'd probably give that a go, because if it was the minifig on the card, that would be cool. If they reissued Luca's Prism rookie card as a Lego thing, would be absolute fire. I'm telling you, it would be so quirky and cool. I think people would be all over it.
Have those Funko Pop things with the Prism cards in it, what are they like? Because I don't like that stuff at all.
They're in landfill, aren't they?
Yeah, like
a lot of Funko Pops got thrown into landfill.
I think they got bought, and then they lost all their value, and they're in cupboards.
Probably.
Yeah.
I've got two.
They had the collab thing going.
But you've got to try, right?
Yeah.
You want to try and corner different aspects of the market, and you've got to try different collaborations to
Lego Prism, do it.
Get on it.
If they did the top 75, that'd be freaking awesome.
NBA 75 as minifigs, and with different basketball courts and scenes, and don't get me started.
Recreating their rookie cards would be amazing, as minifigs. It'd be awesome.
And then you get a special redemption.
You guys.
Send me my check and also send me some minifigs.
Some minifigs, that's right.
There has been a collaboration in the past, hasn't there, with Lego and
You have like the Michael Jordan on the basketball court against Utah with the 98.
Yeah.
They've made the actual minifigs, but I'm talking about the card actually having the minifigs
as Lego.
Lego design. That would be, but recreating famous rookie cards would be awesome.
That'd be,
and you could build them yourself.
And even like the Jambalaya, but with a minifig guy in it. I would seriously think I could spend some money on that if there were like some real cool looking ones.
And then you need to take it back to the 90s, where if you send in 45 barcodes along with $20, you get the special Lego set to basketball court.
Well, the thing is, the people that would find that cool would be the same people that, would up to their neck in Lego as kids and just loved it. That's a crossover that would be absolute magic.
Yeah. Anything with Lego though. Lego's got it's just got that
Lego nailed it.
We've segued from Prism Monopoly to Lego Monopoly.
No, absolutely perfect.
No, to Lego Prism. We've improved it. Panini.
How about a triple collab?
Retired and then do Lego.
Fanatics do year one. Lego. Bang. We're in.
I'll make it the board game that you build the actual board game to, and then the cards on it.
There you go, Carl. The icing on the cake. I like it.
And only silver parallels. So no, there's no numbered parallel. There's nothing. It's just silver. No. One a box.
You get like that. You get that sticker. You get that sticker with it that you put on the Lego. You get the different parallels of that off the sticker sheet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If he's changed teams a few times, do you want him in?
Get the KD one, the Kevin Durant edition. It's like, oh no, I'm giving up on this team. I'm moving on to my next chapter.
The KD just spins with different colors. Like it's just got to.
Here we
Might
go.
have to
Look at the
return
marketing
that
with it.
jerseys. Yeah.
Get us in the Panini Think Lab or Fanatics or whatever. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I'd be all over
There you
that.
go.
I think we've got time for one last topic tonight. So why don't we touch on the Golden Doco? Because I think that's definitely worth a hobby look in. And
Has
I'll admit,
everybody watched all of it?
I haven't watched all of it, so
I've watched the trailer and I watched the first 5 minutes of the first episode. It's on my to watch list. It's there. It's at the top of my watch list.
I've really enjoyed the first couple of episodes.
Yeah.
I think it's, it's fun. I don't think it's anything that's groundbreaking, but it definitely gives you a look into all that happens on the back end in terms of those really large auction houses. And the thing that amazed me was just how much inventory they're holding of people.
And how people send it in. Like,
It was quite
Did
incredible.
you guys, I was kind of skipping through to see if there's anything interesting as I was watching them, but there's a guy in there that buys the Lewis Hamilton Super Refractor 101 auto, and he pays $1 million for it.
wow.
And I was like, what the hell is going on here? I don't get it. Because there was a kid in Canada that pulled it, and they were going to send it into them, but to put on the auctions, but they had a collector, and he said, "Oh, I've got a cash offer for you if you want it, $750,000." And they were just like, he's like, "But I think he can go higher. He'd pay more for you not to put it at the auction, so he doesn't have to compete with everyone." So he offered them $1 million.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. And then I don't know if you've seen it around, but there's when they were going through, when they opened the boxes with Drake and all that sort of stuff and Flawless, and they had some of the cards and they have the estimate of the cost pop up, and it's like $3,000.
Yeah.
And then they find that exact card that's sold on Golden, and it was like 280 US and stuff like that. So there's all these people going. It's just, it's like porn stars, kind of, where they go out to the people's houses and look at all this stuff.
Do you think it's because I haven't watched it yet, but I'm keen to, and there will be people out there that aren't part of the hobby and will come across this in their recommended whatever it is on Netflix. Do you think it's going to be good for the hobby, or do you think we're just going to? What do you think we net as a hobby from this show?
I think it's good for the hobby. It takes it to the mainstream. Like us four here and other collectors that are watching this, we want to see the nitty gritty, the actual real stuff. But it's got to be hyped up. It's just the reality of making a program about it. Like as Parris said, like the valuation. When Drake got the MJ rookie card, it's like valuation $350,000. We all know that isn't right.
Yeah,
like a raw MJ rookie,
and it's just funny though, because like you can't give tight pricing.
It was made though.
Yeah, time of recording.
I think
they were saying pack fresh, probably going to grade high. It could be a 10.
Out of the pack, you don't know how fresh it is. Exactly. Like you mean the cards that have sticky chewing gum stuck to the front of them, and at least it wasn't that. But
I think after watching all of it, I would say, I think Ken Golden's a bit of a sort of a douchey guy anyway, and he kind of comes off that way in it.
His
regardless.
ego fills the room, literally.
The stars of the show are the collectors. There's some people on there that this guy's got an attic of, binders. Well, he's got 3 rows of binders with about 50 binders a row, all of cards and completed sets he's got, and it's just like that stuff's really cool.
That's
where
amazing,
you're seeing the actual collectors with this stuff, or he's just the conduit of getting that person and hooking that person up. Yeah. And it's always, we did $1 million card.
We did this, we did that.
He gets the triple Bron logo man, and it's such a cringe negotiation when they come into. If it sends a jet out, they fly into the office, and they're like, it's 2 days after pulling it, and one of the guys goes, we've got this strong emotional connection with this card now. And I was like,
oh my God. Yeah. So, but do you think
strong emotional connection to the cash?
Do you think this legitimizes the hobby in a sense?
Yeah, it does a little bit. It definitely does.
Because there are a lot of people that don't understand what we collect, right? And the potential values of some of these cards.
I think to the uninitiated, and it'd be kind of interesting and probably quite a few wow moments. Didn't think it'd be worth that.
Yeah.
But then, like we're saying, the Jordan cost, the other cards that they're pulling, him saying this triple logo man is the most amazing card ever made, and and it's like,
we tracked that triple logo LeBron on the show through that.
I think it had
And
2 million, right, or something.
it was it 1.7 US or something? It was
Closed at
underwhelming. It was so underwhelming it wasn't funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, I fully expect that card to end up on that YouTube guy's lost value list at some point, because it closed at 2 million. I know.
Yeah.
They took a phone bid right at the end, and the guy said 2 million, and it sold. But if that was up for sale tomorrow, it'd be lucky.
Yeah.
If it broke 750,000, I'd be shocked in today's market.
I think, definitely in today's market, I agree. But I would hope that was bought as a long-term thing. I think that's the type of card
that's a 20-year card.
Yeah, it's a Hall of Fame and induction.
And it is a special card. I hear your point about how they sort of overblew it a little bit, and I do agree with that. But the flip side is that is a pretty amazing card, and
it is a cool card.
And he is, So I think realistically, he's the player. As much as I sort of don't like admitting this in public, he's the player that I've watched so much of his game.
Yeah.
So I think the next generation of who will be trying to get a hold of that card, I think that's when the value is going to be there. Just like how
for sure.
our generation's like buying Jordan rookies. Hey, I want to segue back a little bit because you were talking about Lewis Hamilton, right?
Yep.
So he's got 8 million Twitter followers. LeBron James has got 52.8 million Twitter followers.
How many's Bieber got?
Virat Kohli, excuse my pronunciation, he's an
that's
Indian
right.
cricket player, 55.4 million.
What?
So you were saying before about, why on earth would someone pay like $1 million for it? The one that I reckon is going to be interesting about some random card just like coming out of the woodwork and selling for an absolute mozza is like some type of cricket card or cricket memorabilia.
What about soccer though?
I think it's the same thing, but again, you're looking at like the top guys. So
Yeah, I know that I don't know what the card. Well, I don't know what the card scene's like on the subcontinent. That'd be my only thing. Is the followers might be based in India, and I don't know what the card collecting scene is like. But I take your point. I do like, but some big international footballer, like a Messi card, a Messi 1 of 1, say. Surely Twitter. How many followers has Messi got?
He'd have over 50 million.
Correct.
Definitely. Him and Ronaldo, surely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the European, they're not in cards like...
Messi's only got 681,000.
Jesus.
Oh, he's a bum.
Nah.
Useless.
What's he doing?
David
Like
Beckham.
a parody account or something?
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
funny how I
parody,
say
yeah.
only. Let me just tell you how many followers we've got. 215, lads.
Million. All right.
Million? It's in the millions, right? Or thousands?
Yeah, well, I guess that's the thing.
That's because we haven't paid for the blue tick.
True.
do it.
Fork that
No, not happen. Not pay. Elon can pay for ours, like he did LeBron.
So, what is it? Golf's the number one sport in the world. Then is it basketball? Then football? In regards to player numbers, is it still golf?
Not
number
sure.
one?
football
Golf might
surely
be.
would be bigger.
I thought golf was more because there's so
There
many
we go.
casual players, like weekend players, because it's a solo sport.
I suppose
Soccer,
like,
football would have to be one, man.
what I was
Like
trying to get to
Africa,
though, like I think $1
China,
million on that card, it's a lot of money, but I don't think it's insanity either, And I think
2 million US.
was it 1 or 2? No,
Two.
for the
Bron.
sports car driver, Lewis
Oh,
Hamilton.
1 million
Yeah.
US.
Tiger Woods has only got 6
It's crazy
million.
money, like, and I'm not saying it's not, but
Yeah.
maybe that actually is like a pocket of value, and it's they're just ahead of their time. This buyer, and so
Yeah, I kind of think about that stuff. Like, who'd be? There's so many other great drivers. I mean, I guess maybe they're not like Schumacher and people like that. I mean, he's obviously not signing anymore, but
he's definitely not signed.
there's so much history in Formula One as well. It'd be quite cool if if they brought a little bit of the provenance and stuff back to that. They've done it in Netflix and with all the Formula One documentaries and series and all that sort of stuff. So there's obviously a market there for that. But is there a hobby collector market for that as well? Is the thing.
Yeah.
Well, in Europe, trading like sports cards aren't big. Like in football, is the stickers where Panini originated from. So soccer fans collected the stickers. So you got to take that into consideration. Lewis Hamilton is interesting because Europe would be the
Europe's
there's a big fan base from Europe. Even though the Netflix series took off in America, so I'm guessing that's what drove the price of him up. But he is talked about. He's like the LeBron of Formula One. There's people now talking like he's the greatest full time, but it's up against Schumacher. Like it'd be like an MJ versus LeBron comparison. So I just don't think there's the base of guys collecting Formula One as it would be in the. It's
Formula One.
American,
Formula One's definitely on the rise, though. That's the other point. It's gathering momentum. Do you know who's got? I found our European friend that's going to be a comparison. By the way,
talk to me.
Cristiano Ronaldo, 108 million followers on Twitter.
So double LeBron.
Ronaldo.
So maybe that's the better example than the cricketer that I gave up.
Yeah, and that's Europe. That's the world game. Soccer's growing. I feel like cricket is very limited because it's not, and as much as I don't like saying this, because it's not in the US, it doesn't have that traction.
Yeah, fully. Like sport, we've got to realize sports cards are American focused.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really is. And Aussie and New Zealand, we both sort of follow in America's footsteps. We
do.
You go to like Germany or you go to South America and Messi, they're not buying sports cards like we are, like America is. So you got to take all that into consideration. Like if you go to India, like the Kohli fans there, but none of them are buying cards of Kohli. Yeah, you'd need to integrate it and get cards into the schools there. It'll be a generational process to.
Yeah, I don't think I've created a very good narrative there. I think I was just trying to say that $1 million is maybe not as crazy as what we were sort of initially thinking. You know, like.
No, I do like that. I do like the comparison. I just think, soccer's a comparable sport because Panini are starting to get into the soccer market. Like the world, there's a lot of traction in that football, like European football market. So it is a relatively untapped market.
Right, lads, let's sign off. And why don't you promote or pump up something that you're working on or you're really keen on at the moment?
Don't mind if I do. I'm no. I'm kidding. Sorry.
I don't know. Nothing really.
You're doing heaps at the moment. Tell us about your Facebook page that you're building up.
Yeah, you guys have got a new group that we're
Parris is part of the NBA trading card. He's the admin of that group, which is the biggest sports card group in the country. So Parris is part of that group. We sort of collab on our little. We had our Facebook Live show, and then we do our podcast too, Sport Codex show, basketball. Our main other host there, Aiden, we do movies and that too on the podcast. So check that out, Sport Codex show on Spotify, CardCodex Facebook group. So all welcome across the ditch.
Yeah, we'll put it up onto our socials because you've been incredibly supportive of us, lads, and we would like to publicly thank you for everything you've done for us. It's been amazing. So thank you so much.
More than welcome.
No, thank you guys. You guys do some really good work. It's good because you guys get in depth with it, so it's good and you're passionate about it. So that's what I like. So I have no trouble at all.
Now I have a big question. Do you guys, are there card shows in New Zealand? In the same way where you go to little ones?
Well, not a card show. There's a show. It's like numismatics and stamps and all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
It's in Auckland tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And I think there's a few of the local card guys that are going to take some product to that.
Yep.
But yeah, there's like Phil does one for the ABC group, and he goes all around the country, basically stopping in all the places. So yeah, there's a few, but yeah, it's not crazy busy or anything like that.
Don't have like the hobby hangout kind of vibe where it's
nothing that level.
Okay.
We've talked about essentially running some trade nights and stuff like that. But it'd probably need to be a bit horses for courses around that in regards to, what's there. Because there'll be a whole bunch of people that are looking for 90s and 2000s, and then a whole bunch of people with last year's prisms and stuff. And, it'd be like the card shows, everyone's got the same stuff out. And then,
everyone's looking for something different.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're like, where's all the 90s stuff? You've got 2017
so we had
to 22.
talked about doing some sort of trade things with select members that have a 90s trade night, or come and show your collection, or whatever. And I'd be keen on doing some of that. I think just to get the collection out, talk to some other people, have a look at their stuff, and we actually, I think it was on the Codex page, wasn't it, Carl, when we were talking about some of the collections that actually exist over here.
Yeah.
That are essentially top of the pile in regards to either player PCs, or like Al's Garnet 21 out of whatever serial number collection, which is ridiculously cool. And there's some other collectors that have got some really cool rare stuff here as well, but they're not necessarily the most vocal ones in the community either. They just love collecting. They collect what they collect, and they sort of wave a massive banner around it.
I'd say it's pretty strong. There's some really, really cool collectors here, and I think there's a real good community with it now. Yeah. Phil Bell, he does probably the best. He dedicates it to all basketball. I think they do a bit of UFC too. They travel around all the main centers, and he puts on. He's a DJ. He knows what he's doing. He's really good at it. He's passionate about it, so he drives that along really well. So he consistently does that. And then there's a couple of the older sort of. I think there's like a generalized card show, but it's all like you might find rugby cards and all those garbage pack.
Garbage Pail Kids?
Monopoly.
All that sort of weird, not Monopoly. Yeah. So there's a couple of those shows too out there. But there's nothing like the hobby hangout and things like that. But maybe one day. And a trade night or something would be really cool. So basketball cards are the biggest. They're the biggest thing here in NZ to collect.
I'd love a low tier trade night. Would be awesome. Just everyone brings along stuff that's not their PC, but might be someone else's PC. Yeah, and you can go, I collect those. There's nothing to me. What do you got? Oh, all right, done. Everyone wins, and no cards were harmed in the transaction. So
no cards were trimmed in the making of this transaction.
I mean, I might offer it for $5, but it's like, hey, if
you need to repeat the recoup the costs of that online kit.
I'll just have the video playing on my phone, so I can go. Hang on, I got to put it back in the wax thing. All right, that'll be $5, sir. Thank you. Enjoy your PSA 10.
Yep. We've derailed the outro.
Totally fine, lads. I expect nothing less, to be honest. Yeah. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in and listening, and thank you so much, lads, for coming along tonight. It's been a wonderful evening. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed myself, so thank you so much. And
it's good fun.
It's been 12 months, I think, and I really feel it hasn't
Annual
been
visitors.
that long, but we need to maybe do this a little bit more frequent than every 12 months, I think, boys.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, we'll be keen for that, definitely.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
Really fun. And cheers for that.
Thanks for the hospitality, boys.